Alright guys, welcome to the MMOs.com podcast. This is Altai here with episode 97, getting close to that 100. I'm joined this week by...
Omer.
Gumble.
Matt.
Shrelia.
And the full gang is here. You know what I'm looking forward to right now? I'm looking forward to that weekly raid because I actually have no idea what it is. Go ahead, Gumby.
Okay, and this week's weekly raid, it's brought to us by EcoBots Gaming, who I don't even know if he's here. So, sorry, Eco. I guess you're seeing this on the YouTube. This week, we're pitting friend against friend, brother against brother, sister against sister, and asking, are your friends and family holding you back in gaming? Are you trying to go plat, but you always queue with that one friend, and boy, they just suck, and you just can't get ahead? Are your friends preventing you from having the most enjoyable possible gaming experience, or are they the reason you have fun to begin with? So my own anecdote here is I had a buddy who played a lot of Rocket League. We all played Rocket League, and then Ranked came out. He happened to get a pretty nice rank and then refused to play ranked matches with his friends because even though he's too old to go pro, he didn't want to lose his precious rank, thanks to his ego, I guess. So we're asking the round table. We have two brothers here in our podcast, so I am very curious to hear what they have to say. Does playing with friends and family hurt your ability to advance in games?
All right, I'll start right away with a yes. All right, and I'll tell you why. Erhan is a bit of a character when it comes to competitive gaming. Sometimes he's got the "I don't give a fuck" attitude, which is usually pretty fine. When you're playing a game like Dota or League, where you actually want to climb, most of us. He's the kind of guy that will throw a game on a whim, which is, it doesn't really matter for most, MMORPGs, shooting games. For the most part, if it's a non-competitive game, it doesn't matter. But we've had games where, I'm dominating my lane, everyone's winning, and Aaron's teammate does something stupid, Aaron, do that again, and I'll throw the game or something. And the guy's like, shut the fuck up, and does it again on purpose, right? And Aaron throws the game, and it's over. We lost because of that. So, he will tilt because of that and kind of make me lose games in Dota. So I don't play a lot of competitive Dota back when I played a lot of Dota, at least ranked mode with my brother, only because I don't want to lose games. I play to win. It doesn't bother me when we lose, but I usually do get a little bit tilted when people just throw the game. So in certain aspects, 100% friends, family holding you back. In this case, family. But beyond competitive gaming, beyond try hard ladders, it doesn't matter, and it's actually pretty good. And you want to defend yourself, or you want?
Aaron, how does that make you feel?
Was it honest?
Listen. I should say that I play games for fun, right? Now, I don't mind playing with friends or not friends. Doesn't matter, right? As long as I'm having a good time. And here's the thing. I'm not going to change the way I play for other people. And I think that's one thing my brother kind of, I guess we don't mesh, we don't agree with. If I feel like throwing, that's it. I go to the next game. If I'm doing bad on my lane, okay, GG, next game. Who cares? 4 other guys on my team, deal with it. So I can see how.
Does that affect the 4 other people on your team that are your friends and family?
That's their problem. I got mine.
Okay, I think I rest my case pretty strongly on this one.
So yeah, that's my. So for example, Overwatch. I'll just pick what I want to play. I have no intention of picking around to help my teammates, right?
That's different. If you play, just don't throw the game. As long as you play to win, I don't think it really bothers me if anybody plays whatever if they're playing to win.
Wait. Does picking Sombra count as throwing the game?
Yes, shoot, it does.
Wow.
By the way, I can't play with Shu either in Overwatch because she.
Whoa! So I think you're the problem. You can't play with anyone.
No, just Shu and her.
Uh-huh.
And in my defense, I do play with Shu even though we lose every game.
I like Sombra. That's mean.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So here's the thing then. I guess, okay. Can this attitude, right, that we have, where I have at least, where I'm just focused on myself having fun. I'm not going to sacrifice for other people. Can that get in the way of friendships, right? And apparently, yes. My brother doesn't like playing with me because of that in some games. So I guess that's the thing.
But I don't think it would ever actually ruin a friendship necessarily. I mean, just because I don't play, I'm not looking forward to playing Dota with you, but I'll play everything else with you. And even when Shu picks Sombra, usually I just eat it up and I don't really care about my rating. I mean, I used to care a lot more about ranking. Not so much anymore. But I feel like if I was in my tryhard mode, I probably wouldn't play with other people. I'd just play solo. It can kind of get in the way, but I don't think anyone's that as competitive. Go ahead, Shu.
What if I pick May?
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can pick whatever.
So you just have a problem with Mexicans. That's what you're trying to say.
All right.
You don't
Build
like
that wall.
Sombra, you don't like Reaper. Oh no,
I have
you
a
got
question for the
racist
panel
over
here. I have a question for the panel. All right. For Matt, for Gumby, and Erhan. Okay, not
You don't want to. You want to wait till we get off the raise. It's going to steer us in a new direction.
No, it's within this context.
Okay.
All right, it's within this context. If in Overwatch, for example, the character that Shu plays is Sombra, it's a relatively new character. Look, Shu insists that she's a good player, good character. I say no, but let's look at the data. The win ratio is like abysmally like 39%, like the worst in the game. No other hero has ever approached that tier of badness. The worst is like 45, 44 after that, and she goes right to 39. Is picking Sombra throwing the game?
No.
Erhan?
Done.
Okay, I'm gonna answer like this. Look, real life sometimes sucks, right? You gotta do things for other people that you don't want to do. Okay, like cook and clean and shit, right?
Yeah.
In a game, which is supposed to be like your escape, if you are sacrificing for other people, okay, if you're playing, like if you want to play Sombra and then you feel like you're being guilted into playing something else and you kind of feel like that thing nagging yourself, you're not playing games anymore. Now you're just doing obligations, like real life, like chores. So you should never be in that position.
That's a pretty good answer. I like that.
That's also a no then, Matt?
No, it's not throwing the game, because throwing the game is explicitly situations like where you just stop playing.
Okay, it wasn't literally throwing the game.
You framed that.
Okay, then you've automatically
You framed it
discarded
that
your own point.
We are not in literal terms here. We're talking,
What are we talking? We talking figurative? Is that what we're talking right here?
We're talking about friends and family potentially making competitive gaming like holding you back. Is the context of our discussion. And Aaron, to address your point, that's not
I think if you're concerned about friends and family holding you back in gaming, you need to reprioritize your life to begin with.
Exactly.
That's not fair either.
Let's,
you can't just tell somebody, "Oh, bro, just stop tryharding."
Yeah, you can. Stop tryharding.
Game more seriously than you do. That's
Good.
fine.
Then play
He wants to
solo.
prioritize the game. No, you can't tell someone, "Yo, stop trying so hard, bro." Yeah, you can, but you just appear like a douchebag.
I'm not saying stop trying so hard. I'm saying take time, set aside time where you just don't give a fuck to play with friends and family.
But
Just
that could
set aside
conflict.
that time.
They could
No,
conflict.
it couldn't, because
If it's a ranked
you have
game,
time
it
where you
could-
take it serious. You have time where you don't take it serious. It's a game.
Yes.
Just
but Matt,
relax.
let's say this guy's hypothetical person A is trying to go pro in League or Overwatch.
Oh, then he's a douchebag. He's automatically
He's
automatically douchebag then. If you're
whatever,
trying to
he's
go pro,
douchebag.
you're a douchebag. All right, there you go.
He's a douchebag. He's trying to go pro.
Okay.
He plays WoW all day. He's doing arenas, and he's doing 2v2 arenas, 3v2 arenas, and casual friend wants to play with him. Is he a douchebag for saying no?
No.
Well, Matt says he's got to reprioritize his life and play with a friend.
If he's busy, it's like if it's work for him, like he's trying to go pro. But maybe on the weekend he can play a few games with his friends.
No, I'm saying if you're concerned about your friends screwing up your ratings, you need to reprioritize your life. Now, if you're trying to go pro and make money off of it, then you don't need to reprioritize, because you're replacing that you're being a douchebag with you're potentially making money off of it.
All right, boys.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Let's reel it back
Yes.
in. Reel it in. Gumbo, where do you? Oh, I guess you gave your example.
I think. All right. Well, before we're getting a little sidetracked here, and I wanted to hear from Shu and Matt. I know that both Shu and Matt also play with people they're close to, so I want to know what their take is on the weekly raid. How about Shu? I know you play. I know you play with your family. So why don't you take it away first, and then we'll hear from Matt. How do you feel playing with your family members in games? Are they holding you back?
Well, I mean, I do like playing with my family members. Like my brother is pretty fun to play with, but sometimes I play games with my mom and it's like unplayable. Like any kind of like, I'll give you a story. So one time I was playing Ragnarok. All roads lead back to Ragnarok. But I was playing Ragnarok online with my mom, right? I'm like, okay, this is your only job in PvP, okay? You're priest. You need to drop the wind wall on me so that I don't get hit by arrows, right?
Mhm.
That's literally your entire job. Like, I don't care if you heal me. I don't care if you don't do anything. You just drop this when you see an arrow flying at me, right? So this guy comes at the corner of the screen, starts shooting me with arrows, right? So I start shooting him back, and then I die because the other guy got a wind wall, and I'm dead on the floor. And then my mom drops a wind wall on top of my dead body. And I'm just like, really? Like, he was shooting me for like a full 5 seconds. So it's like, she just, I don't know. It's like I can't play seriously with like her, but I want to because she, she's my mom.
Oh.
But like, would you be a douchebag if she asked to play, let's say, competitive Overwatch with you, and you're trying to get like 3K or 3.5K for the trophies? No, it's
She
normal
plays
to not want to play.
plays Teemo, dude.
Unless you are, unless you're Grandmaster, yeah, you're a douchebag. Because, what, Mom, I'm trying to get 2K. I'm 1K now. No, you suck. You suck either way.
Mean,
There's
you
nothing
can play
wrong with climbing.
normals. You can play normals,
I
right?
agree.
Like you don't have
Yeah.
to like.
That's the point. If you want to play ranked, I don't think you're a douchebag for saying no to your friends. You want to play with your friends, play normal games. That's fine. But if you want to try hard and rank, a lot of people play these games. Whether even WoW arenas and stuff, like the ladder means something to a lot of people. Yeah, you can agree it's a game. Who gives a shit, right? But that's not how people. This is what people like. That's their entertainment. They want to climb that ladder.
When I hear
whether it's in League, Overwatch, WoW, Guild Wars, anything.
Sometimes people have goals, and like if your goal is to get diamond or whatever, and then you work hard, you fight hard on your own, and then your friends are like, hey, you want to play? And then you play with them, and then they just erase all your hard work. It's kind of frustrating, to be honest.
Exactly. You just can't dismiss that as being, oh, you got to reprioritize your life to not care. No, look, that's your goal. No, you can't tell someone their goals don't matter and they should have fun.
Here's the thing. If they're having, remember, my main premise was, are they having fun? If you're playing games, you should be having fun.
Yeah, okay? He's having fun climbing and wanting to climb.
If he's having fun,
but he's not having fun losing, I'll tell you that.
If he's having fun climbing, right, that's good. But I would argue that a lot of those people who get stuck in that like mindset, they're not really having fun. They're banging their keyboards when they lose. They're yelling. They're going on the forums to like flame these devs. Oh my god, this hero is rigged. This is why I can't climb. Like these people don't seem happy and fulfilled. Guys that are like the 2K scrub who's playing 10 hours a day trying to climb and then making every excuse in the book when he loses. I don't think that's the model of a happy person.
I agree.
Okay. I mean, it's true. Like you want to have fun, but when you're trying to climb, you want to try to limit the factors because like you're already gonna have people on your team that are really really toxic and they're gonna make you lose. So it's like when your goal is to reach diamond, you're not really an asshole for like saying like, look, I'll play normals with you guys, but I don't really want to play ranked because it's gonna hurt me and my goals. I mean, it's fun to reach that goal, and for some people it might not be fun. And you're talking to like the ultimate I don't give a fuck person, right? I mean, so it's it's fun to climb for some people, and it's fun to just screw around for other people. And
also, and you create that straw man of this 2K player who's not having fun. Yeah, in that straw man you created right there, he's not having fun. But you know what he's not having fun even more in? When he plays with his friends who don't care about the results of the game and they pick fun stuff, and he's gonna be raging 10 times even more when he loses. If he's raging at his regular losses, and then he starts playing with his friends who throw the game or don't take it seriously, he instantly is gonna rage even more.
Okay. Yeah, but on the flip side, you can also use that same argument to say why play with your friends if it's gonna make you not have fun, right? You're having fun on your own. You're having fun playing the ranked game, and then if it's not fun to you to play casually, then why should you do that as well, right?
And we should probably look at this from the non-competitive side as well. I think in MMORPGs or other games, play with friends is probably the main reason anyone plays these games. Let's be real. There was a Super Data Research post on why you play certain games, and Moses was on that list, and it was because you play with your friends. That was the reason, the number one, not because of the game features, not because of the PvP, not because of the combat. Like the features of the game didn't drive people to try that game. It's people playing with their friends that keeps them there. So, I mean, I think as a whole, it 100% applies that playing with your friends and family is typically a positive. Only in certain situations, for certain try-hard people, that it becomes a negative. IMO.
Deep.
I like, it's never fun to be around bronzy peasants.
Well, we never got to hear from Matt. Matt, does your family or do your friends hold you back when you play games?
No, actually, I'm usually holding friends back, and you can ask Pocky. I'm the one who doesn't have the time to sit down and go hardcore on these games. But in general, I mean, like, it used to be that like whenever I tried to get friends to play a game, they'd play for like 2 days and then just quit, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, I finally found smaller groups of people that I'm able to actually play games with every now and then. But I did try playing The Secret World when it came out with my siblings, because it was an MMO and it's easy to play regardless of where we are. And they played seriously for about 3 days, and then slowly trailed off and got mad whenever Kat and I would play. It's like, you're gonna go ahead of us, god damn it. And it's like, but you haven't played in like 2 weeks. You can't go ahead of us, god damn it. And I'm just like, okay. Okay. And that's why I stopped playing the Secret World, because I was just tired of it.
I think that makes us appreciate the whole Guild Wars 2 / Elder Scrolls Online system where you can pretty much party with whoever you want. I think that did solve a pretty critical problem, because in MMORPGs, if you don't start at the same time, and if one group or people get ahead, and everybody kind of wants to play in their free time, and everyone's free time is not always lined up. So I think that's a pretty good accomplishment of being able to just play with whoever, whenever, because of the equalized leveling system. So that's a nice positive.
I have an interesting point. I want to take on this, guys. For me, if I'm playing an MMORPG like WoW, I was playing WoW, as long as I'm playing with people near me who are also playing, whether in person or over like Discord or something, it doesn't really bother me if we're not in the same spot in the game. As long as I know that they're playing the game that I'm playing, we could be in different places, and I still feel like we're playing together. Do you guys feel that, or no? Do you got to be in the same quest, the same dungeon?
Yeah, I agree. I find it kind of annoying sometimes to try and keep up with friends if we're say in a party, because everyone goes at their own pace. And I know some people, like last time I played Diablo 3, which was a while ago, friends of mine they moved too quick for me. I kind of like to take my time a little more. I had more fun playing with them passively, where we just kind of talked about what we were doing and then kind of partied up every now and then went back to our own separate pace, than trying to stick together the whole time.
I agree with that.
A bit of both for me. I think if somebody's like, hey, let's play this game together, right? Like we start at the same time, you kind of want to be around the same pace. You want to experience the things at the same time they do. You want to have that shared experience. I think that shared experience, especially if somebody you're close to, you want to play at the same time. I see the appeal of that too.
So shared.
I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Shared concurrent experience, because it's always shared, because you're going to be doing the quest.
Yeah. Okay. You want to experience at the same time. Maybe overcome challenges together. Even like doing some of those dungeons, like in I think what made that dungeon in Blessed fun that we wiped in until we eventually beat it, like that we did it together. If we all did it separately, yeah, we could kind of talk about it, but we didn't have that concurrent experience and overcoming it together. It's like almost like a team building exercise, and it's fun. You get these challenges together.
I would actually use Blessed as an example of what I support. We all leveled at our own paces throughout the week, and then we did the dungeon together, and we were all slightly different levels. It was a pretty wide gap at one point. I think it was like 5-level gap between us, but we all got together on that day and grouped. Yeah. And then for the rest of the week, we kind of all went at our own pace. So I think that's actually a good example of that's my ideal system when I'm playing with friends.
Yeah, you're dancing on the edges. I think that's okay too. But if one guy gets like max level in a week, and another guy's level 25, yeah, that's when it becomes like you would argue that it doesn't matter as long as they're playing the same game. That's when I feel like it becomes an issue, not when like 5-level differences.
All right. I think we're closer.
Because you don't get to experience that content together anymore. You have to get to max level, and then by the time you get to the max level, the guy's already pretty much mastered. Your friend's already mastered all the late game dungeons. He's going to kind of stomp through it for you with you. That's not really the same thing as doing it together. I see that appeal.
All right.
Of doing it together.
Fair enough.
I mean, that's kind of the appeal of those session-based games now, right? They're getting really big compared to MMOs. So
doing them together, them shared experiences, yo.
Well, if anyone in chat, go ahead.
I was gonna say, look at the game that we played the other day. It was way more fun because we could just play together and we just spawn together and experience the game. And like I hadn't even played the game before, right? And I was already able to just get in and play with you guys.
That's a good transition to talk about next. The game that she was referring to. I think I know what it is. Battlegrounds. Yep. So it came out in early access after closed beta, like a week ago? And it's already done.
Thursday.
It's done 11 million in sales, 3 days on Steam?
Yep.
It's pretty good. Has anyone else had a chance to play it besides Omar and Shu? I know I played a little during beta.
I played during beta a little bit.
What was your take on it? I mean, have you played other games like this?
No, I haven't played other than the Culling. Like I haven't bothered with any of the other ones. I have H1Z1 from back when it was just Survive. Was like that was it, and they had like the arena thing that they were sort of working on, but it was before they split the games. But I haven't actually played King of the Kill. I honestly didn't care about it. Battlegrounds is all right. I think the thing that really kills it for me is, again, I've said this, like I said it during the stream, and I'll say it again. I really hate the art style. I really do. The graphics quality altogether is fine. It's just it's so unmemorable that it makes it like sometimes hard to focus on when you're in game. It's hard for me to explain, but other than that, it's all right. I mean, they're basically just fuck. I can't remember how many players I support. 200.
100 players per game right now.
100 players. Okay, so 100 player clusterfucks, and it doesn't feel like there's any rhyme or reason other than the guy camping has a slightly better chance of surviving than the guy running around, or the guy with the vehicle has a slightly better chance of surviving than the guy running around. And that seems to be it. It's all just RNG besides that. I'm sure there is some skill into it, like every shooter, but you know what I mean? Like when you just start, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of skill involved.
Yes. When you just start, it's basically RNG, and you the basic strats that win out are camping and certain things. But I was looking at the game has a built-in like top lists, so you can see the players with the highest win ratio, and some people have pretty good win ratios. And in a game with 100 players and potentially teams of 2, solo, or up to 4, to have a high win ratio is absurd. If you're playing by yourself, you should win on average 1 in 100 games. You're playing with duo about 1 in 50 games or so. And you see people with like 40%, 30% win ratios. That means they're doing something right. There is some level of skill to it that you kind of develop later on. I'm not quite there yet myself.
I mean, I was playing last night, like with Omer, and like I was completely new to the game. I didn't really know what was going on. But when I was playing with Omer, and then we had Boone and Chaos, like they kind of just knew what to do. Like they just made the calls. Like we're gonna go this way, and like there's probably there, and like Boone would just like kill people. And I didn't even see that guy. You know what I mean? And then when I died, I would spectate Boone. And just like the way he plays is a lot different than how I would play. Like I'm just kind of oblivious, right? I'm like, oh, there's a dude there, right? But he's like he knows like where people are gonna be before they're like even there. It almost looked like he was hacking, to be honest. But like it was crazy. And like you just see the kill feed. Like Boone would just kill like 3 people. Like I didn't even 3 people I didn't even see when I was like on his team, right? And it's like it's crazy like how much of a skill difference there is there, and just the way they position themselves, right? Like we're gonna go here, and then because this is gonna happen, we're gonna do this instead. Like there's a lot of strategic, like overall strategic skill that I think is kind of glossed over when you don't understand the game. Like I don't know why they make those decisions, but it works out.
My takeaway from that story was Shu would not survive long in a real life battle royale scenario.
Wow. Hey, if it was mostly melee weapons, I'd have a chance.
I have a question for you guys. A little bit silly. I asked you this previously. I want to hear Matt, Gumby, and Erhan.
Is this
Yes.
the oh my god.
If you were invited to a real life battle royale, okay, meaning there's 100 other kids, 100 other people, last person surviving wins $10 billion.
$10 billion.
All four of you are invited. The caveat here is the rules are you're only competing against other middle schoolers, random middle schoolers across America. So you have the advantage of height, age, strength, and knowledge.
And looks. Good looks.
And well, not you, Aaron, I'm kidding. But on the island, there's only like 5 pistols with only 1 clip of ammo each. So the guns are very rare. There's only 5 pistols. Everything else is melee weapons. With this stipulation, would you participate? You win $10 billion if the last one left. Obviously, if you die, you die. You die for real.
Are we a team like in Battle Royale, or are we solo?
No, everyone's solo.
Oh,
you
solo.
play only against other middle schoolers.
So then,
you have the big advantage.
So then, Sean, Matt, and Shu in this scenario
No.
are on different
I'm asking you
islands.
guys separately. I'm asking you separately if you would participate where you're the only one that's not a middle schooler.
Second question: how big is the island?
About as big as you see the one in Players Unknown's Battlegrounds.
I would. I do it.
So there's guns, right? There's
only 5 pistols, and I'm talking each has 1 clip of ammo. So odds are by the time you even pistols might even run out of ammo before you even see anyone. So the pistols aren't going to really change the game. I would do it.
You know why I would do it?
Man, I don't care. I was a sub for a bit. Get me on that island.
Guppy's got some inner rage of substituting for these middle schoolers. He wants to take it out on them. Remember, if you die, you die. You're still game.
I don't care. It'll be a death. It'll be a glorious death. No problem.
Matt?
What?
I have a strategic answer.
Yeah, I don't know that the emotional turmoil that I would go through if I win would be worth the $10 billion.
I think Matt, that's funny because I asked that question to my other friend Tubby, and that's the answer he gave as well. Like, I don't know how I feel about killing all these middle schoolers. And I see how Gumby and Aaron just glossed over that. They have no qualms about killing middle schoolers.
Go be a substitute for a week and you'll understand.
Dude, I've got enough emotional turmoil from my own mental disorders, so I don't need more.
All right, that's fair. You gave the humane answer. Sure, you in or you out?
I have the best answer. Okay, so
Go.
for me, it depends where the kids are from. Okay, if the kids are like
Wow.
from Texas and they have a gun, then I might die, right? Like, but if they're from Japan, then they're good with melee weapons because they might be taking kendo, right? So it's like
Wow.
depends where they're from. Depends where they're from. If they're from like San Francisco, I'll take them.
There is no way any kid in middle school in Japan, I don't care how much kendo he took, can take me on. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Dude, they're gonna wreck your
They're
ass.
not gonna wreck anything.
So hard.
I'm gonna give him the old Turkish backhand. All right.
Yeah, and then they're gonna cut your leg off.
With kendo, they're gonna cut my leg off.
Yeah, because they're swords, right?
Oh yeah. Well, there's melee weapons.
There's
They're
melee
real
weapons.
weapons.
Yeah.
There's
I
melee
mean,
weapons.
But I have more reach. Anyway, here's my question: if the island is this big,
All right, Erhan, new stipulation. They're all from the inner cities of Chicago.
oh no, I'm nowhere near. They're all bigger than me then.
No, they're bigger than you. They're used to melee combat.
that's another one I wouldn't take.
The Hunger Games sponsored by MMOs.com.
But I think you made one mistake in your answer though. The island would have to be 10 times smaller at least, because if the island was this size, nobody would meet each other. We'd all die of starvation and thirst before we ever figured out what's going on. Because
There's vehicles and stuff too.
there's like two
And the island
vehicles.
gets small. And the island gets smaller. Remember, we have the same stipulations.
No, I didn't know the island gets small. That's kind of
Why? It kind of forces encounters.
Actually, if you do that, the island is small, then you automatically are gonna kill like 50 people because they can't drive.
yeah.
They spawn on the outside, right, of the circle.
Their
then
feet doesn't reach the
they're
pedals.
dead.
All right, enough of the battle. For the record, I would participate as well if my competition was middle schoolers. And for $10 billion, I'll take my chances.
There we go.
But if you want to experience the battle royale in a virtual world, not the real world, go buy the game. It's $30 and it's doing really well on Steam. Let me bring up some Steam charts here, guys.
It peaked at 68K players.
Yeah, just
I
now.
think it'll go higher.
Yeah, just
The
now.
queues are instant, like
Yeah.
for 100 people.
As we're
It
talking,
was over. It was higher than. It is currently higher than H1Z1. So
Yep.
that says something.
it's number 3 right now
Wow.
on Steam charts, just below Counter-Strike. So Dota is number 1, then Counter-Strike, and then this game.
Can we
So
just
I-
talk about the difference in current players between Counter-Strike and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, though?
Yeah, I mean Steam is basically Dota and Counter-Strike, honestly.
Yeah, everything else takes third fiddle to those two, obviously. But I mean, I went out to play last night for a couple games because like Shu never played the game, so I'm like, hey, just play this game. I think you'll like it. And then we played for like 7 hours. I'm like, wait, it's been 7 hours? What? I only wanted to play a couple games. I was going to eat something and do something else, but then all my whole day went to PlayerUnknown's. Rest in pepperoni.
I even went to bed even later than that. I played like 3 more games after. So I played like 10 hours or something. It's fun.
I still think the coolest thing about that game and the story is that the game is made by Inmass and Bluehole, the guys that made Terra. And the way it started was they just made a phone call to the guy PlayerUnknown, the guy who made the original Arma Battle Royale mod, and the guy who worked on King of the Kill. Like, yo, help us make this game. And he flew to Korea, and within a year, boom, they have a game. There's no bullshit 5-year development cycles, no Kickstarter, none. They've freaking made a game in 1 year, from phone call to freaking early access that works in a 1-year period. Obviously, this guy knew how to make this kind of game. He invented the genre. I think, Aaron, you were saying earlier, this guy basically kind of saved Daybreak Games because King of the Kill makes so much money, compared to any other game Daybreak has.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
the
is-
game is huge.
I mean, since basically EverQuest 1, SOE and Daybreak now, this has been their smash hit. I think yesterday it had almost 100,000 people on Steam.
Yep.
And you don't see those numbers on on Planet Side. You don't see them in DC Universe. You don't get those numbers. So yeah, good stuff.
Nuts.
Are you trying to say that a lot of the video game industry is incompetent? Trying to
Yes.
say over.
Yes. The game should not take like 10 years to develop. Final Fantasy 15.
Well, speaking of
And Fortnite, there you go. That one's taking forever too.
Speaking of a game taking a long time, being in development for a long time, this one is not one that failed to launch, but one that is now receiving new updates despite being 19 years old.
Whoa!
This is my favorite story of the week, my biggest story of the week. Starcraft HD Remastered is finally announced, so we're gonna get some Starcraft Brood War later this year in a remastered HD format, and I am looking forward to that. Have you guys,
pretty cool.
Have you guys? Okay, I'm pretty sure you've all at least tried it, right? Starcraft original.
Yeah,
I grew
I
up
played
with
the
that.
shit out of it.
Okay, so here's a
I
question.
bought it like 3 times.
Yeah, that's the thing with Starcraft and
Yeah, me
Diablo
too.
2.
Me too.
I
bought it multiple times.
must have bought Diablo 2 and Starcraft like 8 times each. Oh man. So this is
I've
coming
never
out.
been good enough to win an online match, though.
Really? Oh. Well, you have a chance now. So the new game
The trick is to do no rush 20 and get carriers.
no.
And play on the money maps with infinite minerals.
The trick is
You
to
know,
do
what
no
it's
rush
like
20.
8 walkways.
Do no rush 20, then rush. They won't expect it.
You made a real douchebag.
So the game remastered coming out this summer. There's gonna be a new patch for the existing Brood War, and that will be made free to play. And that should happen later this week or next week. The new patch will come. It'll make the game free. It'll add Observer, anti-cheat, Windows 10 support, a better Windows 10 support. The remastered version will cost money probably. It won't be free. But I suspect they're going to sell millions. And Omar and I actually have a disagreement on this. I think Starcraft is going to be an esport again. Like big. I said with Omar, it's going to be number 2 on Twitch for a while when it comes out. So it won't be League of
That's
Legends.
definitely what Blizzard wants.
Yeah.
I mean, they did announce it from Seoul, and they gave the tip to the esports community first. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're banking on. They want StarCraft 1 to be the esports StarCraft 2 should have been, or what they wanted it to be.
Not going to happen. This is made exclusively for Korea. I don't think there's an NA scene for StarCraft 1 anymore.
Really?
And StarCraft 2 has been on the decline. You are very optimistic. Look, I love StarCraft. I watched actually the most recent StarCraft 1 finals. I think it was Jae-Dong and the other guy. I forgot the other guy. I know Jae-Dong, he's a Zerg player, but knows him that plays StarCraft or watch StarCraft. But I don't see it revitalizing the game. It's going to be a thing to kind of help the Korean scene. It's no chance it's going to be number 2 on Twitch for a month. No way.
No way.
So,
all right.
is this hooked into the new Battle.net instead of the old one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this is exclusively for the Korean scene, making sure that they're able to continue to play it over the long term because, I mean, the game barely works on modern systems as is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't have any modern resolution support. So this is all super important. But here's my question. This supports up to 4K HD, right? Yeah. And I saw in the trailer that they like severely increased the field of view when they scrolled out to 4K. Is that going to be, are they going to force a certain resolution for like competitive games?
Yes. What you saw in the trailer was for replays and observers.
Okay,
yeah,
so they're going to force like 1080p for...
They're going to force something. I forgot. I don't know exactly what.
The field of view, I think it's going to be about the same. They wanted to keep all the core mechanics the same.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's a good point. I don't think they're going to change the field of view because, interestingly, it's built on the same client as the original Brood War. And I think they even said you can queue with people who are still running the original Brood War. So that's interesting, right?
But they're on different systems.
What do you mean?
They're on completely different, like, Battle.net backends. They're
integrating the lobby and matchmaking to something called Fish. It's like the Korean iCup, basically. So they're both going to go through there. But I think it's going to
okay.
But it's going to use the Blizzard like friend system and all that stuff.
Okay, that's odd, but okay.
There's still, I'm not exactly sure on that either yet. There's a few conflicting points, but we'll see where it ends up. But it will definitely have matchmaking. I can tell you that. Ranked matchmaking.
Have you seen those the video? It doesn't even look like, I feel like the 4K textures didn't add anything. It didn't look good at all. I think the old graphics look better. I mean, obviously, improved netcode, reconnection features, and all other stuff is going to help the game a lot. But I don't think the slight changes to visuals are going to do anything for the game.
They're the same graphics.
Yeah, just 4K textures, which I think the textures look worse now that they're 4K. At least some of them
look fine.
I didn't like the Marines. I didn't like the Dragoons. I thought they just looked worse.
I think it looks
because it adds this weird crispness.
Bad. I mean, the Dragoons never look good in motion.
No, but the fuzziness made it look fine. Like the fuzziness blurred out the badness.
I never thought that.
I don't know. It bothers me a lot. The 4K crisp textures makes it look worse than the blurry ones before. The blurry covered up the badness, but now that that's like crisp, it just looks weird. It doesn't fit the background, in my opinion.
I mean, I think
It might
they
look
had
better
to.
in game. Just a trailer I didn't really like.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Okay, I lied. It's not the exact same textures. They modified them slightly.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll take it to my favorite article of the week. Besides Final Fantasy, because we kind of talked on the pregame, but there's actually 6 video games that made over $1 billion last year. If you didn't see the article, can you guess all of them? Who wants to take a shot at it?
Okay, so what is the
Dungeon
question?
Fighter.
That's one of them. Dungeon Fighter made over $1 billion last year.
PC
World of
games or all
Warcraft?
games?
All games.
Okay.
No, World of
Hearthstone,
Warcraft was sitting on
Hearthstone?
870 million, right?
Yeah, World of Warcraft didn't make this list. So what'd you say?
Redstone?
Hearthstone, no. Hearthstone was
Crossfire.
400 million.
Crossfire.
Crossfire made this list. Okay, that's 2
League
of
of
them.
Legends, obviously.
Yeah, League of Legends, that's
Legends.
3.
Okay, I got one.
There's 3 more.
King of Glory.
No, it didn't, because it's too new. That's the only reason it didn't
Clash
make it.
Royale. Clash Royale.
Clash Royale made this list at 1.1 billion. That's 4. There's 2 more.
2.
Shadowverse, I don't know. I doubt Shadowverse did that well.
No.
Shadowverse 100 million. Think of the other Clash game. Come on.
Oh, well, Clash of Clans.
Okay, there's 1 more now.
Okay.
This last one was surprising. I could not have gotten this one.
Lineage 2 Revolution.
No.
No, I bet you, Matt, it will make it this year, but this is last year. That's why. All right, it's Monster Strike. This like Japanese pinball game with the dragons.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Oh my god.
Have you played this? I didn't think this was like that great of a game, and I tried it because it was so big. My mind is blown that this made $1.5 billion.
I've never.
We had a
played
whole bunch
Monster
of articles in the beginning of the year about how successful this game was doing.
Yeah. But the point of this list was there's only 3 movies that made more than $1 billion in global box office sales last year, compared to 6 video games. So, better question: can you guess what 3 movies made over $1 billion last year?
You already pulled it up.
Ah, shucks. All right,
No,
was
but they're not really comparable though, because like you pay for your movie ticket, but that's like a one-time thing for box office sales, and then with video games you can continue paying over and over and over, and like league skins are like the price of a movie ticket each, so
yeah,
it's
and
not
some are
really
30
comparable.
bucks.
The comparison's pretty dumb. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a strange comparison. They should compare the whole franchise revenue. So, for example, for Finding Dory, they got to clump in like the toy sales and stuff to make it match.
Not counting the League of Legends plushie sales either, even though it's not that much,
Well, I
obviously.
mean, they're counting the recurring revenue though.
Yeah, just from the game though, just for that year. I agree, it's not a perfect comparison at all, but it's still pretty.
Not a
nuts.
perfect comparison is still pretty generous.
Fine, it's not a great comparison, but you know, it's pretty nuts that there's only 3 movies that made this list. But what's more surprising to me is we didn't see a single console game on this list, and they said video games, so I don't think they were excluding consoles from this list. Did any
Well,
console
consoles don't really do the whole billions of dollars thing.
Mhm.
Other than like maybe Destiny did. I don't remember. And when it first came out,
that wasn't. Was that last year? Destiny? No.
maybe that was closer to 500 million. I don't remember. I know they made back like the 500 million they spent on it at least. I don't remember beyond that though. But other than that, consoles don't really make that much. The thing about consoles is they have, I think, more dedicated audiences for each individual title than PC games generally do.
Plus, they build franchise and kind of sell you multiple games, whereas like League of Legends is not going to make League of Legends 2. Monster Strike 2. These games are just the one games. Whereas if you count the whole franchise sales for probably obviously Call of Duty, Battlefield, any of these games, it'll be way more potentially.
You also have to take into account that consoles are made for core gamers, like whatever core gamer means these days.
What does that mean?
They're made for core gamers. More casual gamers get into PC games and mobile games because they're more accessible because they already have PCs and mobile phones. They don't want to spend the $300 to $500 on a console just to play whatever game. So it's a completely different market.
Chaos says you got to count all those lewd Katarina figurines for League of Legends, all right? I got my closet of them over here.
There was another takeaway from this Super Data stuff, and it was something like League's revenue actually grew massively over the past few months. Like I think they said like over 5-6 months, they grew like 40%. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, when a big game is still growing, it's pretty nuts. And some people still tell me that League is dead or that WoW is dead. Anyone that says WoW is dead, League is dead, or like any of these big games that are still growing or dead are out of their minds. People assume when you stop playing a game, it's dead. It's so not true. WoW is still doing amazing, and it's still bringing in so much money, and it will still keep bringing in so much money for, like, I say, another 5-6 years, easy. And League still has a huge runway.
Here's a table from Super Data for the different games. Let me put this up. So number 1 in mobile right now for the month, for February, is Lineage 2 Revolution. So for the full year, that's gonna do really well. For me, a surprise is World of Tanks. It's number 4 right now. So past WoW. World of Tanks made more money in February than WoW. Gumball, how do you feel about this? Gumball, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Gumball is so torn up by this that he lost his voice.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot wait for Lineage Revolution 2 or Lineage 2 Revolution to come over here because look at that. Top grossing, and it's only out in Korea.
Okay, and just to give some more context on that, it is literally mind-blowing how successful this game is. This might be the most successful mobile launch, and it's not a typical money grab Game of War style game. It's an MMORPG, and it made $176 million in revenue in its first month, and had daily active users of 2.15 million. That's daily active, and 176 million.
And it's only out in Korea.
Oh my God! When it goes in China, they're gonna be swimming in that though.
They can't right now though.
Yeah, there's that spat with China banning all the Korean games until they can settle something. But this is why the future of MMORPGs is mobile. You cannot fight the tide. Start at least giving these games a chance, and I think they're getting better and better as well. I think a lot of us are still kind of elitist. Maybe I don't know if everyone is here, but I still kind of don't feel the same way about mobile games. But I'm giving them more of a chance. I think Erhan and Gumby are a little elitist here as well too. Shu as well. No, Shu's actually embraced mobile pretty well. But I think Erhan and Gumby are pretty elitist when it comes to their phone games as well.
No, I'm not elitist on.
I have a bunch of them.
I'm not elitist on the hardware. I'm elitist on the actual games. So for example, Clash Royale is a good game. It's better than most PC games, right? But whether it's Fire Emblem Heroes or Pokemon Go or any of those or Puzzle and Dragon, these aren't even games. These are just nothing. These are just blah. They're just there. I don't even count them as games.
Erhan the food critic.
For me, what I'm sold on in mobile is CCGs. I actually really like playing Hearthstone or Shadowverse, kind of like laying down in bed. Those games have worked for me on mobile. And I actually want to download Fairy on my phone, but it's only on tablet right now. They're going the same route, I guess. Tablet first, then mobile. So I couldn't play that just yet. And but at least playing Lineage 2 Revolution, I did the video for it in Korean. Obviously, you can't enjoy the game because you can't read what the hell's going on. But it feels like a real MMORPG. You got the wide, persistent world. You got the graphics are actually quite good for the game. And the potential is there, I think, and they are launching this in the West, so I think we will see a global release sometime this year, and we'll see what the fuss is about. But $176 million in 1 month. This is bigger than most PC MMORPGs make all year. Outside the top 10 MMORPGs on PC, this is in 1 month, Lineage 2 made as much money as some of these games make a year. I think CCP made $83 million last year. That's like half of what Lineage 2 Revolution made in 1 month. Mobile's here. There's no more dismissing it. It's huge.
There's some mobile games that are actually legit hard. Like that Sword Art Online game. It took me I want to say 5 hours to get rank 2, and it's really hard.
I mean, you're competing on a very high tier. 5 hours to get rank 2 that's like rank 2 in the world, right? For that month or that event.
No, it's for your group.
How big is the group?
I don't know. but mommy got rank 1 too from playing for 10 hours or something. It's really hard. You have to think of it kind of like Dark Souls. You have to do a perfect encounter pretty much. You have to parry everything perfectly, dodge everything perfectly, and max DPS when you can. It's pretty fun though. That game. That's Sword Art Online, by the way.
Memory defrag. I hate the subtitle. Why is it memory being defragged? I thought my hard drive gets defragged. Why the memory?
I know we're shit there's a lot of shit talk on mobile games, but I guarantee you guys would have trouble with that game. At least in the beginning.
Can you do you buy gear, or how does the payment system work?
You farm gear pretty much.
So what do you spend money on?
Crystals you can use to unlock more characters, and
it's a waifu collector.
The waifu collector, yeah.
But
But you really only need like one character. Like you get one character, you get their weapon, you max them out, then
okay, but
you're fine.
I'm saying, is the difficulty structured in a way where you basically have to pay for upgrades for your gear just to win?
need certain gear
You
to win.
need
Can you
to
win with bad gear?
farm. You need to have like one set of gear, but they're pretty generous with the crystals, so
Okay, I haven't played it,
not
but I don't
too
know.
bad.
But I suspect if it's making that much money, it's pretty much like structured in a way where.
Well, it's because they keep releasing new characters, right?
All right, I haven't played it, so I can't
That's
comment.
why. Like they
Right.
just released like 7 new characters in like the last month, so it's like people rolling for it and stuff.
Any
That
other
RNG
surprises?
thing.
Any other surprises on this list for you guys on the on the PC, console, or mobile list of top revenue earners for February?
Nope.
Let's take a look. I'm actually surprised to see more games ahead of. Actually, no, PC World of Warcraft is number 4 over there.
It's on the
I'm
list. But
surprised Fantasy Westward Journey is so low.
I mean, that's China exclusive. That's why.
No, that doesn't mean anything. China's huge, man.
I know China is basically the gaming market. I mean, the size of the gaming market in China is multiples bigger than the rest of the world, basically. But Fate Grand Order as a surprise for me. I mean, I know Shu likes that game a lot,
I'd already seen that before. I know
but that's
it's doing
yeah.
really well.
This is actually launched in China relatively recently, so it's booming over there as well. But Honor of Kings, is that the same as King of Glory? Yeah, actually, it's the same game. It gets translated differently. Honor of Kings is actually a really interesting game, and it's mind blowing how successful that game is. Like it really blew my mind when I read the statistics and when I played the game myself. So I'm gonna look at the article real quick. Honor of Kings, it's called King of Glory. For some reason, Tencent refers to it as the Honor of Kings in their own press release, so that's why they got that name. It's basically a League of Legends clone, but for mobile, and it's made by Tencent, so it's like they're allowed to clone their own games, so it doesn't really matter. But this game has 50 million daily active users, over 50 million daily active users according to Tencent themselves. And to put that number into context, this game is multiples more popular than League of Legends, Dota, and Smite, and it's a MOBA. So League of Legends has 100 million monthly active users, which is nowhere near the same as 50 million daily active users. So, and Dota 2 gets 12.5 million monthly. So this is mind-bogglingly successful.
So 4 times as many people play this game you guys are seeing on stream right now as in a day as play Dota 2 in a month.
Yeah,
so, okay.
A day.
This is a mobile MOBA.
You can see the first look video there, me playing the game. But in terms of league-wise, I'm going to say at least twice the player base is league. Twice. And this is only in China right now. Probably more than twice. 100 million daily monthly active means a guy who played once in the whole month will be counted. Other ones counting every single day daily active. So I'm talking 2 to 3 times more popular than League. And I actually like the game. And I don't like mobile games typically. And this is coming from a guy who really doesn't like. It's hard to get into these games for me. But this was intuitive. The controls made sense. And that you have the auto targeting for your abilities, for your auto attacks, but skills have to be aimed. And games are much shorter. It's a 5v5 game, but it ends in like 10 minutes. Towers die very quickly, and the base dies again very quickly as well. Whereas League or Dota can stretch on for an hour. And if you look at there's China's version of Twitch called Do You. I put a picture of there. More people are watching this game right now than League of Legends, and that shows you again how much more popular it is than League of Legends. There's no doubt this game is going to launch, I think, in America because of the success it has in China, and this could dethrone League if anything. Maybe not the PC mobile will dethrone League, but King of Glory has the potential.
And did you mention how you play this on PC?
You could play it on Tencent's website. I think it's pvp.qq.com. You can actually play it via an emulator. And the game is made on mobile, but I played on PC. They actually have a built-in emulator for it when you install it. So you install the PC version, and then it actually just launches an emulator, and you play it basically through an emulator. It's called Nox. But it works really well. There's no issues with it. You do need a QQ account, though. So if you want one of those, we do have a link to how to make your own on MMOs.com, as well as we can just buy it from us. But there's a guide on how to get one on your own for free as well. But it doesn't always work. So if you can't get that to work, feel free to buy one from us, and we'll deliver those for you.
Or if you're too lazy,
Yeah,
like me.
lazy. That's really what it's for.
I wanna take a minute to just talk about the practicality of Chinese like companies. Like here we have a mobile game, right? And what they do is they offer you the chance to play it on PC with the mobile audience by bundling it seamlessly with just an emulator. So many games could do this in America. Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, all these games. But they don't because they have this. I think the mentality is just different. Like in Japan too with Nintendo, right? They have their own way of doing things. In China, they say, listen, we want as many people playing this game as possible. People want to play on PC, fine. We'll just let them emulate it. Boom. No problem. They don't care.
Well, I mean, I don't think Nintendo is a good comparison because they have a vested interest in keeping their games within their own platform, right?
Why?
Because they sell the consoles, so it would drive up the sales of consoles, right? To have exclusive titles.
Sure, but
whereas for that other company, I mean, they're not really making money off of.
I mean, but wouldn't you argue then the hardware has a much lower margin than the software? So, for example, something like Fire Emblem. Why can't I just play that on my PC? Why can't I go to Nintendo.com, click a button, and it just launches on my desktop? And I can spend $20 on stupid orbs, when a whole console only costs $300, a new one.
Yeah, that one's a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, it is different.
There are emulators, but I guess it's probably better if it was an official thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I just think I think they're more open to practical. How do we make the most money possible in China?
Well, here's the thing with the Chinese games, right? So, in China, they have PC clients. In America, they don't. And this is most evident with Age of Wushu Dynasty by Snail Games, because a lot of Snail Games mobile games have PC clients right now, right? So you have Age of Wushu Dynasty, you have Lineage 2 Blood Oath, or Blood Alliance, or however the fuck it's supposed to be translated. You have, whatever. I cannot remember the English names of a lot of these games. So you have games like that. But here in the West, you have Age of Wushu Dynasty on mobile, but you don't have the PC client. It's not there. Yeah, I don't think they feel like it's worth investing in, and I think the reason for that is because in the West, I mean, MMOs have been on a noticeable downtrend in the West, like PC client MMOs, and you've seen a lot of Western developers moving towards MOBAs and survival games and console ports, and I don't think they see it as worth the investment to have the PC client available.
But oftentimes, at least the way Tencent pulled it off with with King of Glory, they literally bundled it with emulator. So it's literally using an emulator called.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they do with the Snail Games ones too, as far as I'm aware.
But because the cost of doing it wouldn't seem like they have to really redevelop anything, because everyone has these emulators already. People use these emulators to play these games in the West, and it becomes accessible to people willing to put in the time to figure it out. But not for the average audience. I just don't think they think anyone's going to use it. And a lot of companies, even if it costs them nothing, if nobody's going to use it, it's like the opportunity cost isn't worth it. But Mobius Final Fantasy launched here, and it gets about peak 24 hours, 4,500. That's, I mean, to Chinese numbers, not a lot, but it's people.
Okay, here's the thing about Mobius, though. They did an actual port.
Yes,
with
that's
support for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
You would not see anyone like Snail Games or anyone like that doing anything like that. Like the Snail Games, Lineage 2, Blood Alliance, Blood Oath, whatever client, it's 720p locked, and it still has the entire mobile interface on it. I'm not even sure. I don't think that one's an emulator specifically. I think that's a native client, and it still has the entire mobile interface on it. I mean, that's how low effort these are for the most part, and they're mostly just there for people to use them if they want to. And I mean, it's to the point where these are so bizarre, some of them, that you have to log in on the mobile game anyways and scan a QR code to log in on the PC client. There's not a traditional login screen. You log in on the mobile game, you scan a QR code on your computer, and the QR code kind of does something like, how Hulu has, when you link a new device, you get the code from your PC to activate it on the other device. It's kind of like that, but a QR code that you scan from your mobile device. And I don't really understand the reasoning behind that. I don't see why you don't just have a login screen, but the point is, I don't think they think that these are worth providing in the West. I don't think they even see them as something that's going to do well. And especially in terms of like Snail Games have one game that's really done well in the West at all, and it's not continuously doing well, and that's Age of Wushu. I'm talking about PC client games, of course. I don't know any of the mobile stats for their games, but as far as PC client games go, they have Age of Wushu. So I think they see the West as not worth it for PC for the most part, and that's why they're moving mostly to survival games in terms of PC client based.
Well, I think they're going to be missing out because of that. But let's change gears here. We talked a little bit in the pregame. I want to mention again. Final Fantasy 14 now has a unlimited free trial, or is it better to call it unlimited free trial, or should we just say it's free to play up until level 35? What's a fairer
unlimited
free trial? I like that better.
Yeah, me too.
Because unlimited free trial implies that you don't have a time limit.
For the record, I chose the words "free to play forever" up until level 35. I feel like that had a stronger headline. You know, it's like, oh, free to play.
Oh, it sounds good.
It sounds good, but I agree. It's a free trial. I know WoW has it as well, where you can play, I think, level 20 with some restrictions on gold and a few other things. But I do want to emphasize how big of an event this is, because the way Final Fantasy works is you can actually multi-class, and you can actually level up every single one of your classes to level 35. There is actually so much content and progression you can make within that free trial, now that it lasts forever. So it's huge. If you're ever interested in Final Fantasy 14, I say give the game a try now. That was a great time to try it. Before 14 days probably isn't enough to try all the classes, and you may not even want to subscribe after 14 days. But I think because of the way the game is set up, more people will end up subscribing after trying for free. So it'll lead to more subscribers. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked, did they remove all the restrictions? The only restrictions there seem to be is you can't have more than 300,000 gil, you can't trade with other players, and you can't join free company. You should be able to party with other players. I don't think that's not one of the restrictions they listed. But yeah, it's
big news for me. I'm going to try the game because of this. I've always been hesitant. I didn't want to commit to both a purchase and a 1 month sub to try the game. So now I will be playing it, and let's see if I make it to 35.
The problem though is also we still can't play together because you'll be playing on a non-Gilgamesh server, which is it still blows my mind that this freaking Square Enix makes so we can't play together. In order for you to play with me, is you have to basically camp like the downtimes of maintenances, and they open up registrations on the popular servers for like 5 minutes. And if you get in that window, you're good, right?
Well,
but nobody wants to do that.
There's some good
and
news,
it's like in the morning. It's it's like 5 in the morning. And alternatively, you can make a character on another server and pay for a transfer.
There you go.
But they are planning on upgrading the servers soon, more. And when they did that, they're gonna make it so you can do cross party for dungeons and stuff.
They had the cross party dungeon.
Yeah, they've already had the cross party since December. They're just going to make it so that you can do cross-world party matching. The matchmaking system is going to be put in.
But can we spam emotes to each other in Limsa? That's the key question. Okay, I gotta spam my Lollify emotes at you, going wah.
You still have to be on their server to see them in the open world.
Yeah, that's the issue there. Which I gotta be able to spam my kawaii emotes. But I think it'll lead to more subscribers for them, because I think they're doing this also because Stormblood is launching, I guess, in June 20, maybe buzz up more interest for the game and convert some of those more people into paying users. But yes, I mean, this is, after World of Warcraft on the subscription front, this is probably the next biggest game. And I think we're not going to see many more subscription-based games in the future, unless, maybe WildStar goes free to play. WildStar goes subscription-based again.
I was pretty surprised by this news. I did not see it coming, but I guess I should have. Final Fantasy 14 just struck me as a game that would stubbornly stick with a full-blown subscription model for everyone forever. But I don't know why I did not think otherwise. So it's sideswiping me.
Not to generalize, but that does seem to be the trend with like Japanese companies, right? Stubbornly stick to their ways until they're forced to change, like Nintendo.
Yeah, I thought I was being fair.
I still love the stats that Final Fantasy makes available, I guess, through their API. I love this.
Oh, yeah. I think every game should do that. Give that transparency. But I can see why they don't,
I guess. It's funny. I still love the stat. It seems like such a large majority of players, like 75% of players, never join a grand company.
because you kind of all the free trial people that never got like high enough level in the 14 days to get there. I think that number will go down now that the free trial basically lasts much longer, well, forever.
I feel like more games should make these public, and the reason for that is if you're a new player and you jump into a game and you see no one in the starting zone, right? Because everybody's at endgame. Like there could be 50,000 people playing on one server, but if nobody's in the starting zone, you're gonna think the game's dead, right? So you're gonna quit. There are 50,000 people playing this game on your server, but you're gonna quit because you don't see anyone. But if they have this information public, you can go online and you can see 50,000 people are playing.
That's
it's
a good
just
point.
You gotta wait.
Yeah. And it's another reason they gotta merge servers or make Gilgamesh open. Like here, I see Belmung and Gilgamesh have players, right?
Yeah, they're the busiest servers.
That's really stupid, by the way. It's like the worst thing ever.
Imagine you make a character on this server, Matthias. There's so
enjoy
few...
playing with nobody.
Oh my god.
It's awful. And honestly, if I played on that server, like honestly, look, if I didn't want to play with my friends, like she was the reason I got into Final Fantasy 14. I would just not play if I can't play on that server. I paid the extra $14, whatever it costs to transfer servers, because like whatever, I can afford it, right? But I can see why somebody like, no, fuck that. Why should I do this? You know, it's an insult to players to not let them play with their friends on the popular servers they want to play on.
Pretty awful.
It's
just overall bad design.
You can
I don't
combine.
know, maybe, I don't know.
You can combine the bottom 4 servers, and it still wouldn't have as many players as Gilgamesh.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So I want to get around to this because we have a follow-up on the whole drama with the Master X Master thing. So after many sites vied for the rights to figure out what the fuck was going on, one that I had never heard of, Lorehound, got an interview with somebody named Sean Orlikowski, who is a brand manager for Master X Master over at NCSoft. And apparently, Statesman's Return was not a slap in the face. It was a passion project, and apparently he has worked really hard at it to the point that he made sure that the lore was written in a way that was friendly to the original City of Heroes lore. Like in City of Heroes, Statesman actually dies at some point, so his return doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the Statesman return, he's not actually the same guy. He's from an alternate universe. This is
classic superhero stuff.
He's from an alternate universe called Praetorian Earth, and maybe this will make sense to people who played City of Heroes more than I did, but the point is, like, they really took the time to, like, really write this back into the game in a way that it makes sense for people that played City of Heroes or didn't play City of Heroes. I mean, there's a whole aspect to this that they took time to do, but I'm going to stick with my original statement that they shouldn't have bothered. That it's really painful when not just one game, but like an entire franchise just overnight disappears, and then they bring it back up in a dumb way like this. You know what I mean? It's like
trying to get them to play the Master X Master in like it feels cheesy and cheap. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think it's
not necessarily. No, it's not really that. Because a lot of these people aren't going to be playing Master X Master regardless of what they do, right? They were invested in MMORPG, and Master X Master is a MOBA. What I'm saying is it's just dumb. I mean, it's like if you took the original Ultima series, like Ultima has been dead for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Take any character, throw it into like an EA fighting game, right?
It'd be weird.
It would be weird and kind of insulting. It's like Ultima's been dead for how long? And people got invested in the MMORPG, people got invested in the RPG worlds, and it's just to bring it back, it's just it feels like they're taking advantage of it, you know?
I think it's just cheesy. Yeah. It doesn't, I don't think it's going to bring any fans back. The games are too different.
Yeah. And maybe I thought it felt like a desperate attempt to like kind of get some like people that were invested in the City of Heroes to play, at least try Master X Master by having a character from their favorite game.
Do you think? Oh, I think out of us, I think you're the only one who tried this game, right?
Yeah.
Any chance?
No, I played it.
Wait, do you guys think it has any chance? It did not appeal to me. The visuals.
No.
I don't think it has a chance, and the reason for that is that they force you to play the PvE before you play the
Yeah.
PvP. It's a MOBA that relies on players playing the PvE to be competitive.
And not just that, there's literally like sure, maybe you can comment on the design decision over here because it seems so awful to me. Okay, so think a MOBA like League of Legends, right?
Yep.
But then there's also this like PvE mode where you kind of do all these dungeons and grind gear, right?
Okay.
And the gear you get actually impacts your PvP. So you actually impact and enhance your abilities, your stats, and your skills by doing the PvE. There's a ranked mode and a normal mode. In ranked mode, the stuff you get in PvE affects all your stats, like everything. So you have to grind PvE forever to get all the stats and upgrade your damage, and it affects your combat power in the 5v5 ranked MOBA mode. Then there's like a practice mode where it doesn't count.
The reason why I don't think that's smart is because people that want to have like that, so the MOBA experience is like a fast-paced, like you get into it real quick, you can play a couple of games, you don't have to worry about, all of the grinding is within the gameplay, right? You start every game with like a new level, and then you level up, and that's part of the experience. Having an external version of that, like for people that don't really like PvE, it's gonna like hamstring your audience, right? Because people don't wanna play that. Like I wouldn't want to play that, right? Like I'll just play an MMO. I'll just play an MMO if I want that kind of gameplay. So I feel like someone thought it was a good idea to marry the two, but I think in the end it's going to hurt their audience because people just won't give it a try. Even if the game, like let's say the game's really good, right? People that want that PvP experience from MOBA, they're just gonna play another game because they can get into it right away. Right?
I mean, the biggest problem for me was the fact that they made they doubled down their stupidity. If you want to have the rank, you should make it so if you want to play rank, all that shit you do in PvE doesn't change or impact the balance of PvP, right? But no, they made it so the rank mode relies on the loot you got from PvE to impact PvP. If they made it so at least like, it equalized.
Well, right? Blade and Soul did that well.
Correctly. Yeah, they did it correctly, where the arena PvP did not impact gear. Yeah.
I'm gonna put forth a different opinion, and the only problem is that the way they marketed it. And I say that because you have a lot of games like Soul Worker or Dungeon Fighter. You basically play a character anyways. You can't customize them. They have a specific look. They have a specific voice. In Soul Worker, they have a specific name. Literally, the only thing that's different between those types of games and Master X Master are, one, it's MOBA-like, right? Instead of being just like a deathmatch PvP thing. Two, you can change your characters at any time, like a MOBA. So the only problem that they had is that they marketed it as a MOBA with PvE. They should have marketed it as an instance-based MMORPG with MOBA-like PvP.
But the MMORPG element, you compared to Soul Worker, right? But Soul Worker has like MMORPG elements. It didn't feel like Master X felt like an MMORPG. We had this top-down MOBA view with like
because you're viewing it as
abilities we've always had in MOBA.
Because you're viewing it as a MOBA. That's what I'm saying.
But if you never market it as a MOBA, and I'm playing, I'm like, why the frick are they combining MOBA and MMORPG? Because you're playing with your 4 abilities, they don't really change. You can't like switch them out for other stuff. It just you have these 4 abilities. Like I would instantly recognize this is a MOBA. What the hell is going on here? And why am I doing these PvE missions? Like, I mean, if you try it for the first time, Erhan and Shio, you'll recognize even without you'll just do PvE at first. You're like, what the hell is this MOBA doing in this PvE? Like, it didn't feel like an MMORPG.
It reminds me of what's that game Overwatch killed that we played? Battleborn, right? Same thing. Like we did the PvP, and then we're like, oh, people have items. How do we get items? And we did that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so we did a PvE thing. It was kind of just silly. Like it was just happy. Things were happy. We were just kind of steamrolling down the map, and things were happening. No one cared. We're just shooting.
To be fair to Battleborn, after it came out, they had an actual story that was cohesive, I think.
Does anyone play a MOBA for a story?
No, I'm just saying it actually had a story mode. That's the thing about it.
But why allow the loot you can get in PvE to impact the PvP when a lot of people don't want that?
Because some people want the progression. Some people do. That's the reality of it. Some people want
but who does? Clearly nobody Battleborn's dead. I don't think Master X Master is going to make it. I don't think they want the progression in that style of game. If you want the progression, go play an MMORPG. Go play an RPG of some kind where you have.
I think that's a little dismissive.
What game has made that formula work? I think I remember again we're stretching here, but if you guys remember,
well, there have been very few games that have tried to make that formula work, and one of them suffered from perception issues with Overwatch. So I mean, it's again, I think you're being a little dismissive of.
No, I mean, I want to hear an example of this working because I don't think there is one. Gunbound, for example, had avatars available, right? Avatars in Gunbound were gear. You can as you play games, you get money, you can buy gear that literally changes your stats and makes you do more damage. And there was channels, right, for avatars on and avatars off. Guess which channel everybody played on? The one with the gears with the avatars off, because the ones with avatars on, the pay to winners can just stomp everybody, or people that grinded long enough have better gear and more damage. Like, why subject people to grind content for quote unquote progression when it just imbalances the game? It's like
here's the thing. Here's the thing about Gunbound. They gave people the option. If you don't give, but if you're going to give people the option, then of course they're not going to do it. I mean, if you give the people the option and not work, they're not going to work. I mean,
if you give them the option, if you don't give them the option, they won't play the game. Look at Battleborn.
That's what I would do. I would not play the game.
I wouldn't play it either. Why would I play a game where
there's an audience that wants the persistent progression? That's all I'm saying.
You mean like are you trying to say like the people that
play
can't play the game normally and they want to like grind it up so they can beat people? So like...
But nobody, I don't think there's a market where you can combine this competitive MOBA or competitive any kind of element where PvP balance is required on top of like the system where you can grind all the content and get stronger. It didn't work in Gunbound. It's not gonna work in Battleborn. I don't think it's gonna work in Master X Master. If Master X Master works the way it is today, I will eat a hat. All right, I will eat a sock, as they say. Because then I'm just wrong, and you're right. There is a market for it, but I don't see people subjecting themselves to play imbalanced games unless you're willing to put in the time. It's like playing CS:GO. If some guy's guns just do more damage than yours, and he's just go grind, buddy. Go play for 10 years.
That's
and grind the gear the way I did. Nobody's gonna play that.
It's called Crossfire.
I was just about to say that. That's literally Crossfire.
No, it's not.
Gotcha.
I don't think Crossfire has those pay-to-win elements.
It's Chinese, right? It does.
No, it's Korean.
It's Korean.
I don't think.
Wow, that's racist.
Can you point out the specific pay-to-win elements of Crossfire? I don't think that they're there.
I did. Is it an Asian game?
Yes.
Okay. So the pay-to-win elements are now defined. Let's move on.
No. League of Legends. No, League of Legends is Tencent technically, so they're Asian as well.
Oh boy.
I gotta say, boys, Twitch client's letting me down today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we did a lot of praising for Twitch. It's dropped me 3 times now.
Wow.
How do you feel about it, by the way, compared to Discord?
I feel like that's a you issue.
That's very dismissive of you to say that it's a me issue.
You
Why am I not blaming the Twitch client?
Because no one else has been dropped.
Well, we had it. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. Twitch it's in beta, guys. It's in beta. All right.
Speaking of the Twitch client, they're going to be selling games soon. This week, actually, right? Who put this up? Somebody got the deets for me.
Sean,
let's hear it.
There was no date, so I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that apparently there are going to be 50 games in the Switch store, which is quite a bit more than I thought there would be. I originally, when the article first came out, when Twitch first announced it, it seemed as if there's only going to be a handful of games to kind of alpha beta test it. But now they got 50, so I guess they're really ramping themselves up here. I guess they're a little excited.
And Ubisoft is like, "Ooh, pick me!" with its brand new games.
Guys, Gumba, I want to correct you for a minute. The rollout is not starting in a week. It started right now. If you guys are on the Twitch client, do me a favor and click the little gamepad on the left. It says Game Library.
Oh shoot, son!
So there's one game currently in the Twitch client, and it is the Breakaway, which is by Amazon. That's why it's probably right there.
This doesn't count.
Well, it counts. What doesn't count?
This is not the rollout.
This is the rollout, baby.
The rollout is deals with other companies like Ubisoft and selling the games like that. But here it is. This is what it's going to look like. I guess we're going to see. It is going to be integrated completely, like we had thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it should have been obvious. So does that mean Breakaway is playable? I thought it was.
No, you can install it.
Yeah.
You cannot play it.
Yeah, I want to correct something as well. Crossfire does have some pay to win elements, not
That's
right.
right.
necessarily pay to grind elements. You can buy body armor in the game that you can only pay real life money for, which is pretty hilarious. But I mean, I guess anyone can buy that. I don't think you can. You can't grind for it because you need to cash up currency. I think it's an awful formula anyway, but it works. If you can pay your weight advantage, you can get away with it. But I don't think grind your weight advantage is the same thing.
You know what the truly funny thing about Ubisoft being one of the first to embrace the Twitch client is? You're still gonna have to use Uplay. No matter what client they sell the games to, you have to use Uplay.
Like literally nobody likes Uplay. Who's like, I'm a fan of Uplay? Says nobody ever.
I just don't care. I mean, it's fine. I don't like fixate on it being a bad thing. You know what I mean?
It's
like everybody else does.
But the cool thing about this Twitch client will be partnered streams, so not us, right? We'll get a 5% commission on if people buy games on the Twitch, through their, I guess, their link or their stream. So that's pretty cool.
All right. Speaking of speaking of buying games, talk about GameStop, guys.
All right,
GameStop is having issues. They're closing 150 stores apparently. And what do you guys think they're going to die off?
Yes.
They are going to downsize for sure. Maybe they won't die, but they won't go the way of Radio Shack. But they won't be. They're off the throne. That's for sure.
All right, I have a question for you guys. GameStop hires each and every one of you as a management consultants. All right, you are tasked with turning around GameStop's video game business. So don't give me like they're going to pivot to other things. How could they increase their video game sales or make more money off video games somehow? And they're giving you fat $1 million checks to figure out a good answer for this. What can they do different to revitalize video game sales?
Digital service with lots of coupons and rewards programs. Done. Bada bing, bada boom.
Boom.
Like for the physical stores or what?
Well, anything to bring more gaming revenues for GameStop. What can they do differently?
I like Ricola's suggestion. Hire hotter girls. They should just have girls in like crop tops and short shorts selling you games.
That's just awkward, though, isn't it?
No. Well, maybe for you, but it doesn't matter. You ain't buying games at GameStop.
No, I'm not buying games at GameStop. But I don't know. It seems awkward to me.
How about rental? They should make a rental service.
That's actually interesting.
Like what are those DVDs?
Like Netflix, but for DVDs. Yeah, Netflix DVDs, but for video games.
Yeah, no, it's called Redbox.
Don't they
right?
have one of those already?
Is
Redbox.
that called Blockbuster? Did they have to? Did they go bankrupt?
Gamefly or something? Don't they
Yeah,
have
they
one
have
of those?
GameFly.
What is maybe?
Is that still around?
Does anybody rent anymore? Really? Come on.
That's true.
What about a digital rental service?
Oh.
So it would be you rent games, and I guess it auto deletes, or somehow there's some type of DRM and you can't access it after, say, 48 hours or however long you rent it.
But they would that require some form of integration with the consoles? Like usually like deliver it to you through your PSN or Xbox Live account. And unless you get Microsoft on board, that's not going to happen. I mean, potentially Microsoft aren't they already doing something like that where they want to have some kind of like subscription service? You get kind of games through just like digital sales.
Listen, smart guy. It sounds to me like GameStop is donezo. That there's nothing that we just tried brainstorming here for about 2 minutes. We got
nothing. They're donezo. They're dead.
GameStop,
There's no other solution.
Okay, here's the thing. People don't want to have to go out and buy games. They just buy them online because they don't have to leave their house. It's that simple.
There's also Amazon, right? Which gives you it's really cheap to buy games on Amazon. They deliver it the day it comes out and all that. Like you don't have to worry about anything.
The Amazon effect doesn't really justify the whole thing. I mean, there's a fun fact. I mean, a lot of people don't realize. If you look at the percent of like retail sales that happen online versus offline, it's like 7% happen online and 93% happen offline. So like Amazon is not taking over the world just yet. They're gonna get there. Give it like another 20 years, everything's gonna be Amazon. But as a percentage of retail sales, Amazon's like 7-8%. I'm sure for electronics it's higher, maybe double that. But people still buy the electronics offline. So I don't think it's fair to say everyone just buys it online. It's game over, man.
Well, I mean, I think the numbers show that everybody buys it online.
No, 7%.
Where else are they going? Where else are they going other than GameStop? You know what I mean? There aren't that many.
Maybe they're all buying on
Games-
Walmart now. Who knows?
GameStop is also not the only video game store,
Yeah.
you know?
It is here. I mean, unless I want to go to Walmart or like some other generalized store, GameStop is the only specialty place.
You know what GameStop has done recently though that I think was really smart? They started adding merchandise because
Yes.
now that they have that, like say there's like a GameStop like next to a coffee shop I'm going to, right? I'll
Mhm.
check it out now because I want to see what kind of neat stuff they have, you know.
The
But
merchandise,
before
yeah.
it was kind of like I don't really care, you know, GameStop, whatever. But I've actually that's actually happened to me a lot in like the last 2 months where like I would go somewhere that's not related to GameStop. It's like, oh hey, there's a GameStop there, like within walking distance. I'll go check it out. And I've
Well,
actually bought some stuff a couple times. So.
That's actually the other side of this. See, so they're closing down 150 GameStop stores, and then they're opening 35 more ThinkGeek stores.
Oh.
So they are obviously pivoting towards collectibles.
But
slowly.
I found the
it's
number.
Smart, you know.
I found the number. 17.3% of consumer electronic sales happen online, e-commerce, versus that's again 83% happen offline. Which
That's consumer electronics sales. That doesn't account for games alone.
yes, but that's I don't think we're gonna find just video games. But I think it's still fair to say over half easily. The vast majority is still happening offline. People buying their I think people are buying their games at Walmart, at Target, at like GameStop still obviously, and all other stores.
I gotta say, I agree with you with the whole walk-in thing. You know, I went to breakfast yesterday, and there was a GameStop in the same complex, and I walked in just to see what they had. And I actually even ended up buying a game, and I'll show you guys on stream. I bought this for I think $15. It's one of the Nintendo Select 3DS games, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I love these Mario RPGs, so I'm looking forward to playing this one later. There you go, GameStop. I'm giving you business.
Nice.
There you go. You did it.
You guys
It's nice
remember
knowing you, GameStop.
You guys remember Game Crazy?
No.
I don't remember Game Crazy. I remember
It's
EB
like-
Games. That was mine. My local place.
Also, something that's important to note about this, they aren't U.S. exclusive, so all 150 stores are not going to be located in the U.S. that they're closing down. So overall, their business could be declining faster in other countries than here.
All right. Some little data for you guys. GameStop today is worth about $2.12 billion. Still a lot of money, but they used to be worth a lot more earlier. I think they're at like looks like 5-year lows, 7 or 8 year lows. So they're not dead yet, but their stock is taking a poop.
Oh,
Going down the tube slowly. But I think Matt and Shu about the whole collectible thing. I mean, if they focus on that, they'll make a lot of money. I looked at the data yesterday out of curiosity. They make about $500 million for collectibles, and video games they make about $8 billion in revenue. So collectibles are actually growing very quickly, like over 20% a year, while gaming is slowing down. But 500 million to 8 billion is still pretty big numbers.
And they're the kind of learning that people that play games want to buy stuff too, related to it, you know.
Speaking of talking about Pivot, I'm pretty sure don't they own like a cellular service now too, like one of those off-brand like Ting mobiles or one of those, or Cricket mobiles, one of those weird ones.
Yes, they have their own like.
what?
GameStop has their own cell service now.
Yes.
It's like what?
Why?
Seems so odd.
You gotta cater to all the antisocial nerds that have disposable income, you know.
I think all right. They got. I think there's still something they can do to fix up their video game business. But as $1 million consultants, we all failed. We couldn't give them a clear solution to boosting their video game business.
All right, we failed. We're fired.
We failed. We're
fired. They're bankrupt. Move on.
Rest in pepperoni, GameStop.
We never talked about what we played this past week, and maybe we should wrap up with that.
All right.
Sounds good.
Who wants to take it?
All right, so I started playing Phantasy Star Online 2, which is the first time I played since the 24 hours that it was not IP blocked during open beta, and then it was IP blocked, and now it's not IP blocked again, and it's been not IP blocked for a long time, but I just got around to it because It was like a 50 gigabyte download or something. I don't remember. And it took until I downloaded a 50 gigabyte arcade game before I convinced myself, okay, I can download the 50 gigabytes. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Kat and I started it, and I got to like level 15 in the first night. I think we played for like 5 hours. Spent about an hour in the casino alone because they give you one free ticket, and it's an actual casino, so you actually lose money at times. They have this crazy animation where it goes, congratulations, and you start doing a dance when you win. What it does is it has the roulette thing, and it's on a giant like wheel that spins. That's like a vertical wheel, and it spins. And if it lands on one of the things you've picked, it'll spin again for a double. And if you get the double, it'll do the congratulations thing. Somehow I got the double on. Well, we both got the double because we both put it on the same one. On the first one we did, and then our luck went to shit from there. But I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I walked away, man.
Never walk away when you're winning. Gotta keep pressing your luck.
You know, though, it's not an interesting idea for a gold sink, though, in the game.
Definitely.
Well, it's not a gold sink. You get your own. It has its own currency that you use there.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like Final Fantasy with the
gold sauce.
Except it's not like something where you grind out money. It's not impossible to lose. You lose a lot.
That's good.
It's like more of a real casino, which is probably inspired by Sega's work with actual casino machines. But anyways, yeah. So the combat is really fluid. It actually plays surprisingly well on a gamepad, which is something that I was shocked about because I'm playing it on a gamepad instead of on a keyboard and mouse, and I feel like it works out better. I don't know. I'm liking it so far. And you guys know, like I've said before, that I don't like a lot of the instanced ones, but something about Phantasy Star feels more natural. The way you go from like the lobby to the team lobby to the actual map, it feels more natural.
Matt, you didn't share the best part. Your awesome pompadour.
I didn't choose that pompadour. I just took a picture of it.
Even it chose you.
The pompadour chose you. All right. The pompadour life chose you.
I have a ponytail, like a samurai ponytail.
I like the pompadour more. I liked it on the Twitch chat, so you can share. This is a top cake pompadour. I kind of wish it was yours, but it's not.
All right.
Is that not the craziest fucking hairdo you've ever seen?
It is A+. I wish I could rock this hairdo. I would pay good money to rock this hairdo.
Dude, imagine like if you had to give someone directions, you don't even have to lift your hands. You just kind of turn your head a little bit. It's like excuse me, sir. Where is the restroom? It's over there.
I wish I could rock a pompadour. I feel like you need to put a lot of gel for it doesn't fall down, right? That'd be like a crazy amount of gel every day. Go through like a whole freaking tube just to keep it going. Because like if you don't put the gel, it just flops to your face and then everything's covered.
Oh, this hairstyle was inspired by this man.
What? Space Dandy? Somebody said.
He linked it.
This guy's hair looks like a nest for ants. You see this picture? Or I don't know, Erhan, if you brought
Oh,
it
yeah,
up.
I did.
What a badass.
All right, guys, that's it for the main segment here. We'll continue in overtime.
Wow. All right.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the hairstyles at the end here.
Erhan doesn't care what everyone else plays.
I know, right?
Rude.
I was thinking the same thing. It's all right.
We only care what Matt played, all right?
We'll cover what we played as soon as I guess he stops because he already called it.
I called it, guys. I'm
right.
sorry. I'm done with you guys.
All
All
right.
right. I'll tell you later for YouTube.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye, YouTube.
All right. You guys
I played a little bit of Playerunkown Battleground last night.
That's all I played too.
All right, see, there you go. We talked about it at the beginning. We didn't miss anything.
No, I mean,
I
Why
mean,
are we
didn't really
offline?
go into it.
Oh,
you
shit.
know?
Erhan,